right, you're welcome back. This is Prime Insight, and grateful to have all of you joining us for the show this morning. Let's head right into the PDS story, because now the Ministry of Energy is giving us an indication what the way forward will be for the government of Ghana after the ruling by the International Tribunal. That will mean that going forward, the government says it will push for some reforms and also try as much as possible to recover some funds and also ensure that there's accountability in the energy sector. How would that be achieved, and how does the Ministry of Energy intend to do that? Joining us via Zoom now is Richmond Roxon, speaks for the Ministry of Energy. Grateful to you, Richmond, for joining us. It's been a while, but good to be hearing from you, knowing that you've also issued a statement raising a number of issues regards the steps that you'll be taking. So good morning to you, first of all, and let's get into it. Government's impression, first of all, about this ruling from the London Tribunal on what the way forward will be. International arbitration was not the desired way out of this. Eventually, that's where it all ended up. Your impressions? Richmond, I hope you can hear me, and kindly unmute so we can hear the points you're sharing with us. Yeah. I hope you can hear me, Richmond. Appears we're having some challenges there connecting with Richmond Roxon this morning. But of course, he is with the Ministry of Energy. Richmond, kindly unmute for us so we can hear the points you're sharing with us. I believe you can hear me now. Share your impressions with us, first of all, on what the ministry's take is on this latest ruling. I hope you can hear me now. Okay, we'll address all of that shortly, and then have Richmond join us. I believe he's still with us. Richmond, can you hear me? Okay, some challenges there. Let me just head straight by telling you, those helping us to do the conversation for this morning. Because we've got quite a number of issues to also discuss, just as I was pointing out earlier. The issue about the presidential jet is also on the table for discussion this morning. What we intend to do is to look at, the studies which is currently being run by the Ghana Armed Forces, the Ministry of Defense. The indication we're getting is that, look, we need to assess whether or not we need a new presidential aircraft. That is, of course, something that is on the table as well. Looking at the fact that many are asking for the government to make a decision whether you want to purchase a new aircraft or we retrofit the one that is already in France. The indication now that we're getting, especially on the issue surrounding the one in France, which is the Falcon, is that it is undergoing some more repairs and it's facing some new setback. That's what I understand from all of this. The reason for which, of course, what we plan to do is to ensure that we look at all of the matters that we faced with this morning. Okay, but it's a good time to just tell you about our guest helping us for the conversation this morning. Kwadwo Poku is an energy expert, needs no introduction because he understands the sector. He's also a member of the New Patriotic Party. You're not denying that, are you?
Why would anybody deny to be a member of the biggest political party in Ghana? Why would anybody do that?
Could you just say good morning at least? So
instead of you wishing me good morning, you are hitting me with a stranger and a visitor, and whether I'm a member of the biggest elephant in the country.
I see.
Good morning.
Good morning. Anyway, we'll see in January how big you are as an elephant.
Oh, we are very big. I mean, whatever happens, the elephant is the one that will be victorious on 21st January 2026. But nice to be here, and good morning to my co-panelists, and good morning to people watching us this morning.
Indeed. Always a pleasure having you here on the program. One West MP is also here. Peter Lanchini-Tobu, the Honourable. Do you want to identify more as a police officer or as a politician?
I would prefer to be called Superintendent Retired Peter Lanchini-Tobu, Honourable Member of Parliament for One West.
That's
so
right.
When you mention Honourable Member of Parliament, you have to add One West because they've made me honourable.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I think I fought to become a superintendent before I opted to go go and serve.
That's what the service. You people don't joke with the ranks, so that's very important to you. Yeah, it's in. Good to have you. And Janet Nabla is with the PNP. Good morning and welcome. It's good to see you as well. Okay, I understand Richmond is back. I'll take Kwadwo's thoughts also on this PDS issue. Richmond, I hope you can hear me now. Initially, we're having some challenges. Your impressions, first of all, about the ruling, and what does the ministry plan to do now?
Good morning to you. I hope I'm very audible now.
Yes, loud and clear.
Yes, so good morning to you. Good morning to co-panelists, Kwadwo, Janet, and an honorable member for Wild West. As a government, the ministry welcomes this ruling. This has been almost 4 years. It started in July 2021. And then the government has been contesting these issues. And so for us, we welcome it. What it means is that there are no liabilities towards ECG. If you look at the final award as determined by the arbitration, all reliefs or all claims sought by PDS was dismissed. There were also questions about the guarantees. The tribunal held that the guarantee was void ab initio. In lay terms, what we will say is that even from the start, it wasn't valid. And so we are happy about it. But more importantly, we shouldn't have been here in the first place. If you look at where we are, I would say that we caused it ourselves, because there was no point in getting to the point where we didn't get to a situation where we'll be sued, we will be engaged in unnecessary legal battles. But it's because as a government, when I say government, collectively in previous years under the previous administration, what needed to be done was not done properly. If you recall, this process started in 2014 when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and then the US government signed the MCC2, what we call the Power Compact. We had about $500 million to reform the power sector. The process was started. Unfortunately, the NDC lost power in 2016, and so they couldn't complete the project. When the new administration came in, it changed the rules of the game. We're expecting that at the time, you had a lot of international companies coming. You had companies from Germany, companies from France, United States with the requisite expertise. But the government introduced local participation and insisted that it would be 50%, 51% for the Ghanaian and then 49% for the international company. Because of that, a lot of these companies left. We only had 3 options available. One was disqualified. We were left with 2. And so the government of the day settled on Meralco, and that's Manila Electric Company, which had practically barely no experience in this region. But what it also meant was that the concessionaire, that is the Meralco and the local partners together with the Angolan partners, had to raise about $400 million. It means that the local partner, together with this Angolan counterparts, had to raise about $250 million. They did not have the capacity to do that. And so in going through the process, they had a number of condition precedent. There were about 45 at the time. And a very critical component of that was the guarantees. Initially was a bank guarantee. They couldn't fulfill it. And so the government at the time revised it to an insurance guarantee to enable them go through the process. Even when it was clear that there were capacity issues, especially with the local partners, the government still pushed, and the deal was approved. Unfortunately, subsequently it came to the government's attention that even the insurance guarantee that he had approved was fraudulently acquired, and that the company, our cooks at the time, did not have the capacity to do that. So the government exercised the right to terminate the concession agreement, and that is what has brought us where we are. And so this is a lesson for us. You will know that as we speak, Cabinet has approved that there will be private sector participation in ECG's billing and collection. And so as we move on, all of us must learn from this. We must learn to always put the country's interest ahead of personal interest. PDS failed because of greed, let's be honest, and personal interest from some individuals. And so we're happy about it. The most important point I'll get to is that the Attorney General will take steps to recover all assets in possession of PDS, whether money, anything at all that within the period PDS operated ECG had come into their possession. That's the next steps that we'll get to.
And that's one aspect we're interested in. When you say that the AG will go after the individuals, is that likely to be on grounds of fraud? What are you looking at, and who will be targeted in this exercise then?
No, I don't want to go into the specificity. Yes, even though I'm a lawyer, I recognize that Article 88 of the Constitution makes the Attorney General the principal legal advisor of government. And also, when it comes to prosecution, they have the mandate to do that. So I don't want to be the one leading the conversation on that. But the assurances you have from our ministry is that there have been discussions between my minister and the Attorney General, and be rest assured that every asset that is in possession of PDS will be recovered for the people of Ghana and then ECG.
Here's my interest. Do we have some funds due the Republic of Ghana because of this?
Yes, funds due ECG still set for PDS. At the time they operated, and then the concession agreement was terminated. They didn't hand over everything because they've been disputing that the government didn't have the right to do that. You recall that they went to court in Ghana first in 2019. They were unsuccessful. In 2021, when the decision was made, they served a notice of arbitration, and then they also went to arbitration. And so, yes, they still have some funds, revenues that they are collected within the.
How much are we looking at? How much are we looking at?
I don't want to put that details.
I mean, we need the details. We need the figures. This is revenue that's accrued.
Yes, I want to leave those details for the Honorable Attorney General, so that when he's going through those processes, but funds still sit with PDS.
Yes, the reason why I'm asking the question is because of where ECG itself finds, itself as a company, as a state-owned enterprise. It's not doing so well. We need those funds if indeed, as you're saying, there are some funds sitting with PDS. How much is involved, or perhaps if there's an estimated cost that we're looking at?
I will not go into the specific figures. Even with these discussions, as someone who is trained as a lawyer, I know the rules when it comes to LCIA. And that is why LCIA does not publish final awards. And so, but for PDS's mischievous release of that statement, we would have been very hesitant in publicly commenting about it. But we also recognize that the people of Ghana need to know what has gone into it. The most important thing is that their reliefs or claims that they took to the LCIA was completely dismissed, and then the demand guarantees were held to be void ab initio. But subsequently, the other processes will be handled by the Office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice.
As the Ministry of Energy, you're administering funds on behalf of the people of Ghana. We need to know how much is involved.
No, we don't agree to those.
Yeah, because if you have revenue accruing to the state, where you have a state-owned enterprise under your supervision, you should be able to put the figures out. If you don't put the figures out, how then do we believe that what you're telling us is true in the first place?
What I can tell you is that there are hundreds of millions with PDS, and the state will recover that. Be rest assured.
Wow. Hundreds of millions. Okay, interesting. If it's in the hundreds, the question will also look at us as a state, partly, those who, supervise the deal. Is your scope of recovery, because you said the mode of proceeding now for the ministry will be to proceed with, the grounds of accountability, transparency, and you're looking at sustainable reforms. From what you're telling us in your statement, the statement you issued to the general public, will that accountability involve demanding some answers from past officials who supervised or had any connection with the deal?
Absolutely. There are a number of investigations that have been commenced when it comes to ECG. It is not just, sometimes we limit the conversation of ECG to just the containers. It's not just the containers. There are procurement issues largely that are being handled by the investigative agencies. There are PDS issues. You know that even the Office of the Special Prosecutor is doing some work on that as well. And so those ones, I can assure you that investigations are ongoing, and then if there are any new angles, the security services will take it on board. But the assurance is that every single penny will be recovered, and anyone who contributed to this will be held liable for his or her actions.
Could you have any questions for Richmond?
How would I have Richmond? I was there, he wasn't. So how can I have, what do you call it? He's just somebody who has come and reading what is put in front of him.
You think so? No, you think so? I mean,
Kwadwo Poku. 3 people went to Parliament.
He's trying to draw attention to this.
Blessed, let me make this quick point. It's unfair for Kwadwo to make that point.
That
I'm not new to this sector.
I'm not saying you are new.
Kwadwo,
you are new at the ministry.
Kwadwo, let me finish. When you say that I'm just there reading documents, that is not the case. I had been with IES for years. When this process started, I was in the known in 2014.
Yeah, but you were not involved.
No. That's what I'm saying. That's when you say I am reading. I don't know whether you were involved.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was involved.
Are you a party to any of the local?
COSECA was a party to PDS. Yes. So that's what I'm saying. That let's leave it.
What I want us to do. I get that.
Let me come from. Listen.
Okay.
3 people went to Parliament and told the head of the parliamentary committee at the time. Not to go ahead with the approval of what the minister has brought to Parliament. Myself, Kwame Jantua, and Bembwache. We wrote a letter and went to Parliament. Why was that? Because bear in mind, the problems with PDS did not start with the 51%, because look, the only thing that government really introduced, the new thing that the government, Nanado government, introduced was the 51%, which Roxanne rightfully put it, right? Now, before, Richard, my brother Richard had already been going to court on PDS. So ECG and their members were not happy with a lot of things to do with the concession, with the compact that was signed. So let's not make it look like it was all well and good before 2017. There were court cases against the PSP before 2017. Now, the members, the union, TEWU, at that time, most of the members and TUC were against, were against. Nyantechi then was the head. COSECA, which I'm a member of, were the ones who mediated a lot of the disputes between the union, the minister, and ECG. Especially the problem of what happens to the staff that leaves ECG to the new code, to the new code. At that time, the new code, right? The new company.
Right, okay.
Then we had several meetings with Honorable Jakon. Then the grandfathering, which is basically all their benefits which they've had from ECG will be grandfathered to the new company. Those deals were brokered by COSECA. So when I said that Richard is just being, I'm not disrespecting him. I'm saying that for the things that he's saying, the point I only want to add to it is that there were problems with the concessionary process. It wasn't just that somebody came in and made wrong decisions. No. Because ECG staff were against it 100%.
Are you saying this failed because of ECG staff?
No, I'm not saying it failed. I'm going to get there.
Is that the point you're making?
I'm going to get there. Sometimes leave me to land. Okay, look, the reason PDS failed is the 51% Ghanaian ownership that was introduced. And Roxanne is right on that. That's the only reason, because you see, we keep trying to say that Ghanaians should participate in things that are Ghanaian. But the problem we fail to realize is that it's the capacity. Look, the companies that had been shortlisted, when we did the meeting, the bidding rounds, when the bidding rounds came around and we went into the bidding rounds, the companies that had been shortlisted for the bidding rounds when we first went there, well, like he rightfully said, were internationally reputed companies like EDF, French company, and then a few of the companies like Morocco was in there. Now, Morocco does have a lot of capacity. They serve 117 million population in Philippines. We are only 35 million as a country. Morocco, which is Manila Electric, their customer base is 117 million. You can't say that a company that serves 170 million people doesn't have experience to do that. Yes, they've never operated in West Africa, but they
that's what I said.
You said they didn't have experience in the region.
No, in the region.
Exactly. I get that, but you don't need to have experience in the region to be able to come and bring your expertise to the region.
Richmond, I'll give you the time to respond.
But I'm saying the same thing you are saying. I'm saying that you said they don't have experience in the region. We are saying the same thing. I'm saying that. And I'm agreeing with Richmond, is that the reason PDS failed was the 51% introduction. because the Ghanaian shareholders that were brought on board did not have the capacity. You see, we are looking at an investment of $580 million, right? And $580 million, if you're a 51% shareholder of that, it means you have to bring 51% of $580 million. None of the companies in Ghana,
which is over 200 million,
to have that capacity. So when it even came, when the whole guarantee thing failed, and there was an FIT investigation, what turned out was that when they were even supposed to pay $12 million for the guarantee that they were supposed to pay for, they only paid $1 million cash. They used cash flow from PDS to basically pay for the rest of the guarantee. Now, what Richmond should and his minister should learn from is that they are also in the process of doing another PSP. Okay?
You know that for a fact?
Yes, they are. They've set a committee.
Right.
The committee has brought out the report. Richmond repeats something that I know is not true, which is he says that the committee, what the government of the day is doing is last mile, which is the collection and whatever. But I'm reliably informed that they want to do multiple concessions because there were 3 proposals that were brought to cabinet. What we are being told the government is doing is not what the government is doing. And he can tell me whether I'm wrong or right, because there are 3 proposals that were brought. Richmond mentioned it today, that they are doing the last mile, which last mile is customer service and collections.
Right.
But what I'm told, that the contractor, the transaction advisor, which the government is appointing, is to look into is multiple PDS.
I'll get Richmond's take on that. But are you not losing sight of accountability now?
Accountability?
Yeah, you're picking and choosing, isn't it? Yeah.
Government, you see, and I'm happy he said that government is continuous.
Yeah.
Government is continuous. There is no there's no, what's the word I'm looking for? Government of the past or of the day did not do anything wrong with PDS. Let me land. PDS was manned by the Compact, Millennium Challenge, and MIDA.
You see, could you be simplistic on this matter? I mean, because we've heard some of the names involved in this. Yeah.
That's what you've been told. I'm telling you that there is no decision that was made by government. Government didn't have a right to make a decision. Let me tell you why government have a right. Why do you think the Americans took the $190 million away?
The compact is closed.
Because government made a decision. The Americans felt that the government of Ghana, because bear in mind, when this thing was abrogated, myself, COSECA, and INSTEPR, and IES were all saying that, why? Guess who was pushing for Ghana government to gloss over the bad guarantees and still go ahead with the PDS deal? Guess who? The American government.
Really?
Yes.
Because I recall, I recall interviewing the CEO of the Compact.
Yes.
Yes. And there's no indication or whatsoever that they were actually happy about the infractions.
No, they were not happy about the infractions, but they didn't want the government to abrogate it. They thought that it's something that could basically be let go so that the Compact would stay. Bear in mind, government of Ghana was only part of, oh, my brother, listen to me.
You're now shifting. Are you not shifting blame? Are you not shifting blame to the U.S. government now?
Hold on. Tell me one thing government of Ghana did. Tell me one thing.
Cronyism, maybe?
Which cronyism? 21, also, there were companies that bidded, right? The companies that bidded, where's the cronyism? The companies that now became the 51%, that part of it, how is that part of cronyism? Yes, you might have heard names that got involved. But the point I'm saying...
And they are known people to your side. To your side.
Today, let me tell you, today, let there be any concession arrangement, and let's see if there will not be anybody from government that's part of it.
You feel it's normal to give it to party folks.
People in government have business friends and have family friends who are into business. They can't be part of. So are you telling me that everybody related to NDC cannot be part of the ECG concession?
That's not what I'm saying.
But that's what you're saying. That's what we are saying. But let's not belittle the point. Listen to me.
Are you saying that all of these reports were there?
The government did not. Listen, the only thing the government did, 2 things. And even anything government suggested has to be approved by MIDA. Now, the changing of the bank guarantee to insurance bond was approved by MIDA. The partners couldn't do the bank guarantee. They came to government and said, look, we've won this thing. We're having challenges doing the bank guarantee. We want to do a performance.
Could you have been evasive on what's facing the NPP now and what the administration did?
I have emails. Look, do you know the person who was right in the middle of this? The current MD of ECG, Pepena, Julius. Ask him.
You're mentioning names?
Yes.
You know the implications of mentioning these names.
Julius Pepper was part of this whole process. He was admitted. If they approved all this, you see, what I'm telling you is that where it's wrong, I'll tell you it's wrong. Because I went to Parliament to stop it. I went to Parliament to stop it based on transaction that will not work, because I'm a businessman and I'm a part of civil society that looks at.
Would the government be right going after NPP, some former appointees?
Who are you going after? Doesn't say who are you going? Look, you can add it to the oral conversation, the Conconsult committee, and let them do what they do. Nobody cares. You see, the point you guys don't get is that you can waste 4 years going after people, which will end with nothing, because we know there's nothing there. Or you've
just said hundreds of millions with PDS. Our money is with PDS.
But that one is not with government officials. That one is with the private company. PDS is made up of private companies.
But whose fault was it?
What do you mean?
The arrangement, obviously. In fact, even increasing the stakes at some point was sanctioned by government officials.
You are watching too much TikTok and listening to too much.
Oh my goodness!
I'm just telling you, because these things are saying.
But these are reported.
Reported by who? By you.
You can go online. The media is
exactly.
The media is replete.
You go online.
It's replete with the reports.
Joy News put it there.
Say you doubt the reports.
No, I don't believe the report, because I was part of it. You see, you can't. When it comes to PDS, I'm the authority on PDS. Really? And I'll challenge everybody, because I have all the documents from 2017 to 2019. I would challenge, because at every meeting with the vice president at the time, with the minister at the time, Kwadwo Poku was there. So let's not discuss PDS.
At some point, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's name came up. You know about that.
Because you media put his name in there. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's name came up because of what? People were trying to make it look like Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is the one that changed the guarantee from a bank guarantee to performance bond. It's not true. It was media that changed it. And everybody can have emails from people from media sending emails approving the change from bank guarantee to performance bond.
So we let everyone go?
I'm not saying, look, my brother, everybody is right to go to court. Like my brother said, they are going to do whatever. But my problem is that we are in the middle of another PSP. There's a committee that's been set. There is another way forward to try this thing again. I have always said that the Nando-led administration, immediately they terminated PDS, should have gone back and tried it again. They didn't. For me, I thought it was wrong.
Okay.
There's going to go at it again, which the process is still ongoing. Yeah. They should learn lessons from what has happened. But let's not come and make it look like somebody did something wrong, so we're going to go and back. You can add it to the Conconsult.
Here's what I want us to do. I'll come to you, but I understand Richmond wants to take a bow. But Richmond, let me give you the final take before you go.
Yes, thank you, Blessed. First, Kwadwo Poku is absolutely wrong when he says that there were several issues with the concession and the PDS. The first issue is that when it comes to ECG staff, it's always been the case that once you are bringing in the private sector, there's always a pushback when it comes to government institutions. And at the time, there were several engagements. My minister today was Deputy Power Minister. And then the Honorable Kobna Donko. And so all those issues were practically resolved. The issues were resolved, the engagements had been done. And the points the government we had gone to the point where they had to select a concessionaire, which the new administration came in and changed the rules. And that singular act of introducing the 51% participation is what messed the entire process up. So I don't want us to box the issues with the ECG staff and the issues we're raising with the processes, the due diligence when it comes to the establishment of PDS and then the appointment of the concessionaire. Is entirely different from the agitations that the ECG staff had made. And like you rightly mentioned, those issues had been resolved largely. Number two, I get him, I hear him when he says that the government should learn from it. Of course, the government started that process. And at the time the government started it under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama I, we didn't have any issues of cronyism. We didn't have any issues of bringing on board companies.
He says there was no cronyism.
No. In fact, like you mentioned, at the time, when that 51% was introduced, most of the reputable companies left. And he admits to it that most of these companies left. And so as a government, be rest assured that the president and Honorable Jinapo, they are well guided. They have the requisite experience. They've gone through this process before. And their process does not lead to a PDS. Their process was going on smoothly until the new administration came in and then changed the narrative.
Could just counter to you is that even the new concessionaires, right? I believe, you're talking about
I'll
three
come
of
there.
them.
I'll come there.
Okay,
I'll come there. That was the next point I was coming to. So Cabinet has approved private sector participation in PDS. As at today, what the decision is billing and collection. That is what has been done. There's absolutely nothing wrong to bring on board a transactional advisor to look at the various options available. When he mentions multiple concessions, it's because the government does not want to give the concession to one company. The plan, as we speak today, what the committee recommended was, yes, you want to do billing and collection, but don't give it to one company. So have multiple concessions where you have something like zonalization. So you know that when it comes to Greater Accra, Blizzard is the one in charge. When it comes to Ashanti region, Kojo is in charge. So every issue related to that, you can simply hold them accountable rather than have one company look at all. And all these, so when he hears multiple concessions, that's what the government is trying to do. But there's a transaction advisor, obviously. There's a committee report. Once the advisor comes in with all his opinion and the way forward, governments will also announce.
So are they indeed three, as he's saying?
No, like I said, there are not three different. When you hear, there are not three different. Areas. What you are looking at is one area, which is billing and collection for ECG to improve its revenues. And that's, you want to use multiple concessions. And so whether you end up with 5, whether you end up with 10, whether you end up with 11, whether you end up with 2, will be multiple. But the government does not intend to go the PDS way where you hand over the billing and collection to just one entity.
And the selection process, you say, is not skewed?
Absolutely not. I mean, there's no way the selection.
How would you know that?
No, that's what I'm saying. No. That's what I'm saying. That selection has not been done. Yes, but there's no way it will be skewed. So far, the process has been transparent. If you look at what this government has done, Kojo himself will attest to it that a lot of the committees and processes are even championed or led by civil society groups. This PSP and even government renegotiations on IPP is chaired by Ben Boashik. What does it tell you? The government is not interested in cronyism. The government is interested in doing the right thing. And that is why you have academia, you have civil society groups chair some of these processes. The PSP is currently being handled by a very experienced consultant. And then you have Dr. Ishmael Aka on, the former PRC boss. You have Jabesh with so many years of experience. You have Ben Boashi. And so if you have a government that is interested in cronyism, that will not be the caliber of people you see there. You will not see people with vast industry knowledge trying to do this process. And so he can be assured that we will not go the way that the previous administration went. It's unfortunate we lost $190 million. The government is engaging the Americans to see if that $190 million will be restored.
All right.
One thing that is clear is that if we had gone, if you look at the objectives that the government had put in place with the establishment of this concessionaire and the power compact, if we had gone that way, we would have seen a better ECG and a better energy sector than we're experiencing today.
All right. Grateful for your time, Richmond Watson. Thank you for joining us. But for the compact, to understand, it's closed because I recall doing that interview with the Americans. So, yeah.
A quick one.
30 seconds before I...
Before you... I think it should be... a quick one. Look, the point I made was that there was a committee engagement and there were proposals that went to Cabinet. Cabinet approved 3 options. The 3 options, option 1 was single concession, like what we had in PDS, which is one company comes in and take the entire company. Then the option 2 is multiple concessions. So you split ECG into multiple parts, which is different from billing and collection. The 3rd option is the last mile, which is billing and collection. So you see, that is where, for me, I'm quiet. Because I know that whatever happens, the chicken will come home to roost. The transaction advisor will finish his work. And when the government now want to roll it out, then we will know. Okay. Everybody will know that it is not the last mile which they are going to do.
Well, let's give them the benefit of
exactly. So I'm just saying that's why I'm quiet.
Blessed, I can tell you that as we speak, what the concentration is on will be the billing and collection.
Okay. No problem.
If tomorrow there are any changes, as we've communicated decision of cabinet to the public, we will do so as a ministry.
All right. Grateful for your time. Richmond Roxon for joining us. Janet, let me hear you, and then I'll come to Supo.
Yeah. Let me greet you, greet my co-panelists, and also let me greet your viewers this morning. It's sad because I've heard people say that Ghana, we've lost $190 million.
Yes, that was a grant.
It is not your money at the first place. It is like an IMF conditionality.
But this is a grant, we understand from the US.
It's not a grant. If a grant is given to you and the grant says that they should go into billing, check this and blah, 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 that will have an effect on the consumer, that's not a grant. A grant is you giving something to someone without any manipulations. But this was a manipulation. It is a disgrace to us as a country for people to even put it as a headline at the first place. Ghana lost 190. Is the money yours? It's a grant with conditionality. It's like IMF. That money was not Ghana's money at the first place. We shouldn't have even been going into deals.
Yeah, but if you don't meet the terms, you can't unlock the funds. Some work was done under the NDC administration then to unlock the funds.
We should not even have gone to that place. Why is it that as a country we can't take care of ourselves unless we go to other people to solicit for funds, and the funds are given to us with conditionalities, and the conditionalities is to make the consumer life miserable. When you look at the PDF and all the things that they were doing, I heard that you went to court. I was expecting him to go to court to stop all this, not to go to court to be having problems, this one and this. Because the PDS thing at the first place that President Mohammed's administration started, we should not have even gone there. Because
are you sure we are able to?
It is privatization. They are private.
Yes, but ECG continues to suffer issues, managerial issues.
You are talking about suffering. These are all political things because, number one, it is the Mohammed's administration that brought in this thing. It was the same Mohammed's administration that was against privatization of ECG during their, when they were in opposition. Now they are in government and they are going into privatization. Then you ask yourself, where are we going as a country? Why is it that when we are...
Where did the NDC say that they were against privatization?
Hey, the NDC, everyone is aware. It is on the DC. I was just reading it. They were against privatization when they were DC. They got up, they were even against PDS. When you look at PDS and the difficulties that they had, even the London Arbitration Court says that when it comes to the fraudulent insurance chain from Al-Qut, you've not done anything wrong. It is the fault is Al-Qut. But then we are ruling against because you went and brought them. And for that matter, they rule in favor of us. And that is what makes me happy with the Nanado administration. Ever since they came to power, they didn't pay any, they call it what? Judgment debt. They did not do those things because we knew that political parties were using judgment debts to settle issues with they and their cronies. They come together to give these abnormal judgment. If you're looking at the PDS arrangement, as Richmond is telling you, there are some funds, hundreds of millions in terms of funds sitting with PDS. How much is it? How can I have funds with you without knowing it? The 190 million is not their funds. Why didn't they use that fund as a headline? Because number one, if you are owing me some money...
So you want government to come clean on the amount?
Come clean.
Are you sure there's no money with PDS?
No.
Because they run...
Why should I be here? Why should I be here?
You run ECG for some...
No, the thing is this. Why should I be here asking whether government has money or not? If they have given you opportunity to have put it as a headline for Ghanaians to know that PDS is owing us this amount of money. But you rather went to talk about a grant which is not your money. You went and picked the grant because the money is much. You want to let Ghanaians think that...
Janet, are you saying that we don't have any money? He says hundreds of...
To me.
I mean...
No, I'm not saying... I'm saying that...
Why isn't the headline the money?
How much? No, hundreds of money is not a conversation. It is a conversation. It is not a conversation. What is the meaning of hundreds of money? What is the meaning of that?
Millions.
If you are owing me money, I will tell them you owe me 100 million. 100 million PDS owe us. This is professionalism. It is unprofessional for you to go on any media station to tell them that PDS is owing us hundreds of millions of. Please give us a break.
Yeah, but he says the AG has to pay use the document and then tell us.
No. So then keep quiet. No, keep quiet until the AG gives you the information. How much do they owe you? We don't know whether they owe us money or they don't owe us.
Yeah, but I mean, it stands to reason to say that if PDS managed ECG's assets for a while, yes, then they should have money.
If they have money, they should have been able to do all the. No.
It's been transferred back.
Yeah,
no, but the thing is this. All what I'm saying is this. Number one, Ghanaians, we don't want privatization. Whatever President Mahama and the NDC are doing, we are not going to agree. We don't want ECG to be privatized. We are already in trouble. You buy this ECG credit, you turn your back and then the thing is finished. And you have to run back again. People are using thousands of cedis that they don't even earn at the end of the month to buy this electricity credit. And now you want to privatize it. And when you look at this Millennium Compact Fund, when you read, the devil lies in the details. When you read it, you will know that they are targeting customers. Anytime the US come out with any idea, it is always to target customers. They are talking about wastage. They can't be able to control wastage. The Ghanaians don't control wastage, they control taxes. It is taxes that they know how to inflict on their people. So that is why we are saying that we don't need this privatization of ECG. We are not interested in it. Talking about the how much they are owing us, we don't know at the moment. We don't deal with hundreds of cities. We deal with an amount.
Yeah, but if you're not interested in privatization, at least someone started it. The NPP administration started it. So
I thought that the NPP administration said that when they came, it was the Mohammed's administration that started it. Is that not what you...
Yes.
They said they already signed the bond.
But the procedure, no one tied the NPP
Richmond said that they already used some money.
Yeah.
That during the Mohammed's
administration. But I'm saying that nobody tied the hands of the NPP.
No, they already signed the compact and they came and finally...
You can abrogate as the government of Ghana. Or you can come out of a grant. You're not tied.
Exactly, you are not tied to the... So you say, no, you can't be tied.
Let me hear from the Honorable MP.
Bless it.
Yes.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. My people in West are watching and they're getting confused. Good morning to you people in West. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to make some few comments on a matter that is in the energy sector. That I think that my brother has made some comment, and she's also saying something that is quite interesting. Government is a continuum. Whether it was started by the NDC and continued by the MPP, or it was started by the MPP and now being continued by the NDC. What matters is that Ghana is looking for efficiency. Probably when President John Dramani Mahama came back and said, I am coming to reset the country, people didn't understand. In resetting the country, he's looking at best practices. In resetting the country, he's looking at efficiency within the energy sector and all other sectors. So whatever went wrong, and we got it right when we said, you see, PDS in thinking was not a bad idea. But in practice, the greed that got into the system destroyed it. What are we talking about? PDS came to improve the system and give it efficiency so that the people of Ghana, the ordinary customer enjoying energy, can enjoy energy to the maximum. But at the end of the day, they realize that some level of greed got into the system and people were in there to milk the nation dry. I am happy to hear that he was part of the whole arrangement. Kwadwo Poku was part of the whole arrangement. But I'm also happy to hear that you are not a board member of PDS, because we are going after them. We will go after them. And he is saying that oral is just a concerned committee. I'm surprised.
Oh, but your own people said that.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm believing that Dr. Ayeni is watching. The Minister of Justice and Attorney General is watching that oral is a concerned committee.
Yes, that's what it is.
And we'll get nothing out of that.
Could you, I hope your name doesn't come up in the oral.
I have to put my name I have to put my name on the oral, but nobody's listening.
I am convinced that what happened in Ghana in the past 8 years, if oral doesn't work, then probably we don't know where we're going. There was so much looting, there was so much graft, there was so much corruption, and if oral cannot uncover anything, then I don't know why we're in government. We're in government to reset this nation in all sectors. So whatever it is, whether it's in the energy sector, it's the security sector, it's the economy, we are doing the best that we can. But for oral is going to succeed. Because the Ghanaian people voted so much for the NDC because of the reset agenda. They voted for the NDC majorly because they believed that oral was going to work. And oral so far We are quiet, but just watch that space and you'll be shocked. I'm sure he will come back here to tell you, probably I wasn't properly briefed and I wasn't well informed about some of the things that are being revealed by Oral. But Oral cannot become a concerned committee. No, Oral is a serious business that is supporting the government research agenda. But when we're talking about PDS, let's leave it here. You see, PDS, millions of CDs, as you said. And from my background, if I don't have a figure and you are pushing me to put a figure, and I said, I don't want to put the figure now, probably the figure has not been put in your mouth to pronounce. You can only say millions of CDs, but you don't have to be specific. And somebody says, no, if you are not specific, it means you don't know what you are talking about. Just watch this space. Wait until the chicken comes home to roost. And you appreciate the fact that...
So which chicken will be coming home to roost now? Because that's the same thing Kwadwo is also telling us. So who's right here? He says that, look, it's not the problem of the former vice president, it's not the fault of all these NPP officials. It's simply because the arrangement had Ghanaian companies that didn't have the capacity to run that.
We have an able-bodied Minister of Energy and Green Transition now, Honorable John Jinapo. Somebody said he knows what to do, and he knows his staff. I am quite sure if all of us support him, with time we'll come to appreciate that we are resetting this country. And anything that is hidden under the energy sector, under President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, whether somebody was complicit or not, it will come to bear. So let's leave it here.
There's the issue of fraud coming up. Do you feel that we should be asking some more questions from those who were managing the economy at the time, or the energy sector at the time?
That is what I'm saying. We've just begun the process. And sometimes let's not allow to use media to do investigations. Allow the system to investigate itself and bring out facts. When we come to the media front, we'll be discussing what are the facts that have been laid to bear. But let's not jump the gun. Allow this space and watch it carefully.
And that's the worry. Okay, I have to get the views of my in-studio audience. But before we do that,
I wanted to say something about this PDS thing. When you look at the way things happened, we will have to congratulate the Nana Addo's government.
Really?
Number one, yes.
For what
because
exactly?
Who picked the director of ECG, the ECG director? Is it not the MPP? Was it not the MPP? So if they wanted to cover things up, they would have been able to do that with the fraudulent insurance that was this thing. But they made them to write a letter to Al-Quds, and Al-Quds finally gave them back a letter in June 2019.
How about we look at it this way, that the NPP could have intentions can go for claims in excess of $300 million US dollars. That's also a possibility. That's also a possibility. Why are you ruling that out? We are looking at possibilities. But we are looking at possibilities generally. No, I mean, no. It's because
the way things happen.
No, but I'm proud
of the system.
No, but Janet is also looking at this from
No. He's talking about corruption. I've not seen it.
Yeah, but Janet, you should also look at the thing.
When you look at the PDS, there's no corruption. You can see that. No. Let's. The truth is that.
When you wear clean glasses and look at the system, you will see what is there.
Where is it? Okay. When you see corruption, you'll be able to.
But when people are trying that, there's no corruption in PDS.
Propaganda bring the corruption out. Where is it?
A lot of the
if there's corruption, you will know. Where is it?
But where is it? Now mention something my brother said. You see, our brother Domlevo said that oral data included garbage entries collected without verification. That's concern. Domlevo said it. I didn't say it. No. Don't run away. Don't run away. No. Domlevo said it. That it was garbage collected.
To actually even solve corruption in this country, they should be closing the holes.
You see, my brother,
close them instead of leaving them open and then be running after people.
You can go to them. Just give me one.
Close it.
The NDC has a tradition, and it stems back from the PNDC. When they come into power, they hear a lot of people saying things, whispering in the corridors of people's houses. They take it and start going after the people.
And that's what telling me that there's no element of corruption or
listen, what is
in PDS? Is that what you're saying?
In the point I'm trying to get across to you is that there was a company, right? The ECG abrogated a contract. The company was not happy. They took the government to arbitration.
Are you saying there was no element of corruption in PDS?
Hold. The government went to arbitration, defended the arbitration, and won.
Who changed the guarantees?
Who changed the guarantees? Yes. MIDA is not government.
Really?
Yes. I have the email. You want to put an email on your screen? I'll give you the email to put on your screen. MIDA. And the people who now gave the approval for the to be changed. It was suggested They were having a problem by the company. You see, I'm telling that, look, my brother, I am against the way the process was done.
Do you think that the guarantees can be changed without the approval of the government of Ghana?
Because the government didn't have the right.
No, I'm asking you a question. Do you feel that the PDS agreement, because you signed a compact,
got nothing to do with
that has terms and conditions. No, but here's the case. You sign a compact. The compact has terms and conditions, okay? If that is violated or changed without the information to the other party, which in this case would have been the government of Ghana.
No, the government of Ghana cannot change. It was agreement is in two parts.
But I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. Do you feel that the compact would have proceeded without informing the government of Ghana?
They informed the government. That's why I explained to you, no, the government didn't have the power to. What I'm saying is that
so the government
they informed the government. The government said, I do not have the power. When it comes to the compact, it was MEDA.
So who changed the guarantee?
Oh my God. Bro,
okay.
Ask the question.
All right. The audience, let me have your take. So maybe you should give us the first take on this.
Yeah. Yourself, the panel, and colleagues in the studio, as well as our audience. Good morning. I think that in all the discussions that we've had across the board, not enough answers has been given to the question about who was responsible for ensuring that due diligence was done on the local partners that partnered the consortium. Because as we have come to know, the biggest problem that we had, which brought about the cancellation, was the capacity of the local partners to have partnered.
Which Kwadwo says yes.
Exactly, but no response has been given to that. I have been able to read INSTEPR's paper that they wrote in the heat of the matter, and I have been able to read INSTEPR's paper on the matter.
It's okay. It's working. It's working.
Yes,
we can hear.
And they've not been able to also provide an answer to that. In the discussions that we've had, not enough responses has been given to that. The Energy Ministry's PRO has also not been able to respond to that. And I think that it is something that we have to take notice of. My personal concern besides that is that I think that the due diligence should have been done by the Manila company, because
Meralco, you mean?
Yes, Meralco, because they were the ones who were bringing on board those local partners, including the Angolan company, right. Because it wasn't MEDA, neither was it ECG or whoever it was bringing on board those persons. It was the company, the concessionaire, who was bringing them on board. So I believe that the duty lied on their shoulders to have ensured that. But I don't know if that's the response. Of course, Mr. Poku is the authority, as
we'll find out
so
shortly.
I'm expecting that. But besides that, Mr. Blessed, I can't come to terms with the fact that the concessionaire was able to forge a document to get a contract handed over to them in this country. I don't think that in anywhere across the globe that would be accepted. And I think that we have to call out whoever was responsible for doing that and make sure that some charges are brought against them, and they have to pay for that, because it is to take the Ghanaian people for granted. How could you have forged a document to come and take a contract from the country when you knew that you were not in the rightful position?
But my only challenge, thank you for that intervention. My only challenge is I'm wondering how that foreign company we can do anything about it, because they are not in our jurisdiction.
But they are not even those.
Well, okay.
It was wrong. There
was an individual
they said they are not
in the insurance. There was an individual in the insurance company who gave them a forged document. So the company disowned it when it came up. Disowned it.
Yeah, but then he's asking the question about the Ghanaian.
No, but the Ghanaian side. I mean,
we have control by the Ghanaian company.
You are supposed to break. Hold on. The insurance company was done well. You are supposed to bring insurance. Through Downwell contact the international company. They bring you an insurance certificate. You do your checks, is right, you move on. But the point I'm trying to get across is that it was when they now went to do the due diligence with Alkut, the company itself, to make sure that is this bond that has been provided correct? So the due diligence he's talking about was done. It was when it was uncovered that the company did not know anything about the document.
But I'm just saying that when it comes to forgery or fraud, we have control of the Ghanaian company.
But let me quickly explain something that he put up. And that goes to the heart of why Kwadwo Poku was against the PDS. I told you that we did the first bid round. The first bid round that was done, bear in mind, His Excellency Nado announced the 51% on May 1st, Workers' Day at the Independence Square. That's when he announced it. the first bid round was done before May 1st. When we went to the first bid rounds, 5 international companies had been shortlisted to be part of the second phase. They all had some Ghanaian partners. Morocco at the time didn't have any Ghanaian partner. Okay. In fact, there was a company called CH. CH had a Ghanaian consortium. Now, let me quickly finish. It's very important because he's raised a very big point. All the 6, there was a very hefty due diligence from 26 companies. The initial companies that submitted for the PDS, for the concession, was 26 companies. It was taken through an immense due diligence, and 6 were shortlisted. When we now said that there should be 51% Ghanaian shareholders, those that expressed interest to partner the 6 companies, none of them were taken through that due diligence that the 6 companies have gone through. That's where the problem came.
Yeah, so then government, the small government.
God, that's MIDA, not government.
Why are you shifting the goalposts now?
You see, no, it's not. My brother, you see,
anyway, let me just go into that. Come on, you want to come through?
The money was not coming from government.
Since the topic and the discussion has to do with I would like to draw the attention of the minister that people are complaining in other regions. In fact, I have a friend from Kintampo who is complaining that there are outages over there. So the minister should really, basically, it's kind of doomsday rearing its head in some of the regions.
Are you sure? The last time, well, I don't recall the last time.
Are you government defender?
Oh no, I'm just. So when was the last time your lights went out?
Yesterday.
Hey, Kojo.
Blessed.
Your lights went out.
You see, I am the one that have always said that when your light goes off, it's a localized problem. I'm not saying it's doomsday, but my light went off yesterday.
Okay, Kojo. I'm sorry. But I'm not.
If a taxi hits the pole in your area.
So nobody's saying it's
because nowadays we don't.
Nobody's saying that. He's reporting a problem. Let's let the government.
A friend in Kintampo, which you know, Master Planner Junior Kintampo, complained to me that when I come, I should echo this view.
I'm sorry. I was just
outages. Olebu just Olebu. There've been outages for this. You get it. So it's kind of doomsday. We're just drawing the attention of the minister. And again, honorable member of Lancheni talked about Aura. I think he's so much banged his hope on Aura. Just as Mr. Kwadwo Poku said, you don't bank your hope on data, which at least majority of it are full of garbage, and you say that's a change maker when it comes to fighting.
People are being prosecuted now who are named in the oral report.
But a member of the committee is saying that they've received garbage. You can I don't
verified
think, I don't no, but he said it.
He called it.
He said it. If he had said something different, you would have used it to talk here. So he's saying that they've received garbage. I don't think you can prosecute people based on the garbage you've received. So let's put that one aside. You think I see with this PDS discussion on board, the Nanado government needs to be praised. In fact, they've done a yeoman's job. You want to have a dealing with the company, and the company starts by giving you a forged document. What's the guarantee that in its dealing going forward, it won't end up even defrauding the state? Because if the security guarantee, which serves as the basis for which government will transact with you, that in case you destroy something or you falter, this is what we can rely on to recover what you've destroyed. You fraud that with fake document, and you still say that this government be blamed for. It is something I feel that the government did well, and the fact that the government cancelled or terminated this contract still they took it to a court of arbitration. And we want to tell you that what the government did was absolutely right, and the MPP government or the Nanado government should highly be commended.
The government had the ability to cancel the contract. Why didn't they have the ability?
And you see, I think
ability to ensure due diligence?
So far, I think you've not come to or agreed to terms that it has to do with MIDA, much as you normally see it as government of Ghana undertaking the transaction. The
government of Ghana had the opportunity, the power to abrogate the contract. Why didn't they have the power then to ensure due diligence?
But just as you said, no, the thing was contracted by MIDA. That is where we have to get the distinction and let the viewers understand that sole responsibility of handling all this whole PDS thing has to do with MIDA being in charge. So you are helpless. You get it? When government decided to do, they took their monies back because they felt that they should be in control to decide whatever they want. So I don't see how you blame the previous administration.
Okay.
Listen, let's something quick.
I'll come to you.
When you say oral is just garbage, probably you don't have a technical eye. The oral, listen.
No, Damlo, please, Damlo said it.
Let me make the point. I'll give you the chance, yes.
Oral committee was not an investigative committee. Oral committee was supposed to gather data, gather facts, and we're going to drill down the details. We're going to sieve the material they brought in there and fine-tune it and authenticate what is relevant. As we are talking to you, if you go to a crime scene, for instance, you get to a murder scene, you don't have critical eyes. You can gather all the things that you can get in there, you call it garbage. When I begin to look at it with a technical eye, one piece of thing will be connected to the scene for me to tell you that, listen, this crime was committed and this crime was possibly committed by this particular person. Any other thing you brought, you can call it garbage, but I'll prove to you that the crime was committed. So I'm simply telling you that oral, if you think that all the things that they handed over to the Attorney General are relevant, that is not the issue. What is relevant is in there, and that is why the purpose is that we need to have an investigative team to look at the material oral brought, and that is what the Attorney General is doing now. But I can assure you, just watch that space. Oral is not something that you need to joke with. People are going to pay for it. If you loot and you go and sit and you think that when they talk about oral being just full of garbage and you are excited, they are only painting a clear picture for you that, listen, don't deceive yourself. Something bigger is coming and you'll be held responsible.
All right, let's do 30 seconds then.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I think the problem we have in Ghana here, first term of the President Mahama, he tried to privatize the ECG. It means the problem of ECG is collection of bills to generate revenue.
Revenue, yes.
Yeah. Now the came to government, and then he also continued with the private sector.
Yeah.
I was thinking then this might come in with a different option, but they also came the same thing again. Now they were opposing when they were in opposition. I think is it still about making it a private entity to making it according to a private entity to come in to help us collect our bills to generate revenues? Can't we think as Ghanaians, or can't we have a local solution or state institution or the main ECG people? Can they find means and ways to collect the revenues, to generate collect the bills, to generate revenues? Because I think I think about it from Mahama's first term to now, and now to Mama's second term again. We are still talking about this, and also to be the oral. I think, Honorable, please, oral made it clear to us that they are going to, in fact, take about $20 billion. Means oral knew what they were doing. It's not about oral taking data. They knew what they were doing because the chairman of oral came clear that they are taking about $20 billion. Meaning they knew whatever.
But from the fact sheets, okay, well, let me call it the charges from the Attorney General that you've heard so far, the amounts involved. For instance, in some of the cases alone, it's way beyond 20, isn't it?
How is it?
No.
Which case?
It's in court.
And
it's in court. And court hasn't pronounced anybody.
Would you allow me to ask that question?
Even with that one, which case is up to 20?
I don't know why
oral is up to 1 billion. Which case?
I don't know why oral is terrorizing people so much.
No. They made it clear to us that they are coming about 20 billion. They made it clear to us.
Oral has come to the oral will hold people responsible.
That's fine. Your own people
and whoever started doing their thing will be held responsible.
I'm a young guy of this country and I'm against corruption. I'm a young guy of this country.
We're all against corruption.
And I'm against corruption. But oral made it clear that they are going to...
If you are against corruption, let your language sound so.
No more. I'm talking about oral. What oral told us? That they are going to reclaim $20 billion.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
we wait to see. You know what?
They know what they are doing.
Let's talk about the presidential...
So a quick one before we move the topic. Just a quick one. Look, the problem the NDC would have in doing the private sector participation they want to do is carrying Ghanaians with them. You see, let me now... I always say that when it comes to energy, I don't do politics with it. In the MPP manifesto, we also talked about the last mile, using private sector participation to basically do the collection and customer service. Okay. The problem that everybody has is that when you try to bring in foreign companies to do some of these things, everybody thinks that Ghanaians can do it, which is what the Nanado did in 51% participation, which led to the problem. Now, we heard Roxanne, this government have planned, we're not going to do that. What are you going to do? Okay. Ghanaians will object to foreigners coming in to take over ECG. Yeah. That I can assure you.
Okay, I want us to talk about the presidential jet because we don't have time. Honorable, let me give 30 seconds each, maybe to conclude on this ECG thing. Yeah.
Okay, so as for the ECG thing, I think that ECG is not also doing well when it comes to recovering money or even giving bills out. People who are using conventional meters, they don't send them bills. Yeah. I know a lot of people that are not getting bills. They just go to ECG to pay anything that they want. Yeah. So there's no need for us to go and bring other people to come and teach us what to do.
But you've not reported these people?
Reported these people. No, I said the people went to ECG and told them, we don't get bills. We have been paying anything that, and ECG have not done anything about it.
Really?
You are saying really? ECG, those using conventional meters, ECG is not giving them bills. You see, they pay whatever they want at the end of the day. So I'm thinking that we should be efficient. Yeah. It's not about bringing private people to come and put more charges or increase utilities and tariffs for people to pay. It's about being efficient. Right. And that is what ECD is not doing.
Honorable, let me give you that last thing.
I want to challenge the Minister of Energy and Green Transition that all I'm interested in is operational efficiency. I don't care whether it is private or public. I don't care whether it's public-private combined. I don't care whether it is foreign or local. What I want is that the Ghanaian customer should enjoy free-flow electricity at a good cost. So we're talking about operational efficiency. So I wouldn't stand to say, don't bring in any private person, don't bring in any foreigner. What can you do to ensure operational efficiency? ECG has been a problem for years. Yeah. The time to nip it in the bud and find a lasting solution is now. And I believe that he can do something better.
I believe so. Let's see how efficient ECG will be going forward.